Good day to you.
Hey, good day to all of you out there.
Well, another one.
Yeah, down here in Denver, blue sky, little white, clouds around, little overcast. Probably, maybe actually, if you're in the shade, truly in the shade, on the other side of the fence in the shade, it's probably only about 50 degrees. But sitting here right in the sun, it's great. In fact, it's too hot for a shirt on. So what are we doing? I'm going to get
Another
handed
presentation for you, my friend.
Okay.
So we did a Goodwill trip and found a
All right.
couple cool things. This one, a real neat one. This is, look at that. All right,
my.
so Brad.
Okay, that's an old your Chicago cutlery, number 6S, as in Sam. And meat cutters, use those an awful lot. And I see that it has my best friend in the whole world on it.
Tape. You know this knife I found for you because on your table I see a knife that is
Yes, I was going to
is
mention.
at its bitter end, man. You have sharpened the sharp out of the sharp out of it.
Yes, and actually what I did is I deliberately, ooh, that came off nicely. Doesn't usually happen like that. And I sharpened the back of it because, okay, I'll hold still. The backs of 99.9% of the knives are two-sided, back and top and bottom sharpened. But because it looks just like a piece of tin there, it's got a 90-degree corner. That one's probably 1/16 of an inch wide. And so I actually drew it through the V-notch like this. I'm not going to do it to this. Fact is, it won't even fit in there. It's that wide. You couldn't. All right, so anyway, I cut the back of it to simulate making a knife out of a piece of tin. And I told people all the time, if you're out somewhere, you need a knife, you don't have a knife, start looking for a piece of tin, an old tin can, a lid. I sharpen backs of combs, credit cards, records, license plates,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Hey, put some ideas down there. Put some ideas.
Right down there, write some ideas. What should I sharpen? And yeah, it's almost identical. It's not as big a knife as this, not as heavy a knife as this, but it's built just like this. All right, and then I sharpened the back, I sharpened the belly. So maybe today or tomorrow while I'm at a show, we'll make sure that we deliberately feature that knife. That tape is miserable.
It's able to Misra?
Yes, it is. It Misras. Oh my God! I forgot again. I have a book that got mailed back to me. I mailed it to a friend of mine, and I'm not going to tell you who it is. Anyway, he's somebody, and it's about his grandpa. And so he read the book, wrote some stuff in the book back to me, signed it, and I'll have to look in my car and see if there's some way I brought it, but I think there's okay, I think I got all the tape off. Actually, I got all the tape off of this one.
Slice her up.
So anyway, that one's...
Oh, come on.
No, I wouldn't test this one too far. You can get away with a lot like that, but if you don't push too hard. Okay. But if you're... Okay, because this is why I say I wouldn't test that one too far. Because it does have some sharp to it. Not out there. Well, yeah, I can kind of saw the paper. See, I saw. So, see, I saw. So, all right. So just like this.
So
Match the bevel.
You can't go back and forth.
No.
You said seesaw. Can you saw C?
Can I saw? See.
If you were on it, could you saw C?
Yeah.
You seesaw the saw C?
I'll have to think about that just a little bit. Because see, right now I saw. That's past tense. I'm seeing. That's present tense. I seen. That's past tense.
But on the playground.
On the playground, I can seesaw. Nope. Oh, look at this. That knife isn't balanced at all. It's funny. You have to balance it. You're going to get clear back in there.
Is that balanced unly?
Which unly, yes. But actually, it might be kind of balanced because it's in your hand. Okay, I'm going to say it's balanced, not here, but back here, like that. That's a really cool knife. for what, $1 or less?
Stickers on it. It's half price blue sticker Sunday.
Oh, I tore. It's mutilated.
What's half of $3.49? Real
Oh.
quick, everyone. 124.5.
Something like that. So just like this, right on around. I love my sharpeners. It's the easiest way in the world to sharpen knives.
And that was wrong mouth, by the way. Please comment below.
To do that, run it right out there like this, right out there. A lot of times working on the point of a knife is really hard, and if you're trying to whetstone it and stuff, it's just not working well. You know, even a Lansky clamped on here and trying to really get it right, you know, and running it through a electric sharpener, you know, and running it up like that, or even on my Work Sharp, you got your belt, you come in and you have to go like that, or it's down, you have to do this or something, or like that, okay? But you still have to kind of go through some contortions. With mine, I don't. We just do this and you run along, match the bevel that's on the blade that they ground it at, come out here and work on the very point.
If that's you calling on the telephone right now as a fan, please leave a comment down below.
I have no idea who it was. I don't recognize the number. That's why I generally don't. Oh, somebody did something to this blade. There, and there. Kind of took something off of the blade. So we do this, right on around, like that. Okay, then we go out and drop it right off the point, just like that. I just about always start with a little hard pressure. I'll set it down and I'll go along like this, you know, like that, using a hard object so the knife doesn't want to move away from me pushing on it, just like this. That way I'm transferring all of the effort of sharpening into the blade instead of the way it moves when it's out here. But right now I don't care because I'm polishing the blade. So just like that. And I'm actually going off the point because of the way I tip and manipulate the sharpener on the blade. So just like that. Then you come back this way, like that. All right, now let's just make sure we have no burr. We have just a micro bit of a burr out there, but I don't think it's enough to, oh yes I do, to bother.
Pester it.
You gotta pester it a little. I just won't, I will not phony it up. I won't do it. I can't, it's just not in me. Okay, so now we have a knife that cuts like that out there. If you can go out there and tease that along and do it again, come on, catch, there. And keep catching that paper that far out. Come on, catch, baby. It wants to. Oh, come on. I'll force it a little. But take your knives, and even if you have to force them a little. All right, but anyway, I can make it sharper than that. Zoom in here just a little bit. See how the paper still has a tiny, tiny little bit of a chafe to it coming my direction? That means the knife isn't horribly sharp. It also has to do with, this is really actually a pretty thick blade. So something you have to understand, the apex of the cutting edge is the furthest point out. That can be literally sharp as a freaking razor blade or sharper. But to get through the paper, you still have to push the paper apart. Okay, when I do this, right down in here, the thickness of the blade still has to push that paper open as it goes through. So it's not super easy. And of course, the thinner the blade, you know, the better it'll work because it doesn't have to push hardly anything. That's why a razor blade starting out at a 64th of an inch probably, and then long taper. So you put a 5-degree bevel on a razor blade that started out only a 64th of an inch thick in the first place. That's why they're so incredibly sharp. Okay, so let's see if I can make this. I'm gonna use the longer one. Oh, that's funny. I noticed immediately that it didn't have the key ring on it because I would actually kind of get a hold of the key ring a little bit, and that one doesn't have one. So just like, that's actually one of the old. Yeah, it is one of the old ones. It's just never been used, maybe. Or maybe this is my demo one. Just like that. Touch it lighter and lighter. What I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to make sure that there's absolutely no burr on that blade, because the burr is wider than the cutting edge of the blade. And even though it's thin, it's wider, so it has some tendency to tear the paper a little. That is. Okay, now come up here and look along the edge. You'll still see maybe a tiny bit, not much. I got pretty good eyes and I can see there isn't much on there. And so now it's just fun. It cuts like that. So old knife, new life. We have a series like that actually. And this now would be a fantastic knife. It'd be a good carving, boning knife. If you're taking care of deer, elk, antelope, you know, moose, buffalo, things like that, then you can actually use this knife in a lot of ways. This is Brad Buckner, sharpensbest.com. That's what I was working on. And it says $3.50, so probably half of that. Okay.
All right.
Pretty good price. We'll talk to you later.